Well, when it comes to fitness, Dale Yake did everything right. For years, when he wasn't working as a physical therapist and athletic trainer, he ran and he pushed himself.
Yake is a triathlete, a marathoner, and an Ironman endurance athlete. But even the most active lifestyle couldn't protect him from heart disease. The Fox Medical Team's Beth Galvin joins us now with his story. Beth?
And Sine and Tom, we know one of the biggest risk factors for heart disease is a family history, and Dale Yake had a really strong one. But he felt like he was doing everything right until he was hit by chest pain. As CEO and founder of the physical therapy company PT Solutions, Dale Yake practices the healthy lifestyle he preaches. When he's not working, he's working out. And he's been an endurance athlete since his 20s, starting with triathlons.
I wasn't the fastest. I was probably one of those folks just out there to complete the race, but I got this passion and want to move on to the longer distance trial.
By his early 40s, Yake had done 75 to 80 triathlons and 4 Ironman endurance competitions. But what he couldn't outrun was an extensive family history of heart disease.
My father had this, my grandparents both had it, my mother has a form of it, my grandparents on my other side had it, my brother has heart disease, so we have a grease fire, if you will, in our family on heart disease.
Yake says his blood cholesterol was high at times, and so was his blood pressure, and he'd sometimes have these strange chest pains, especially after eating heavy meals. But he was so active, he tried not to sweat the numbers. Then, just after competing in his 4th Ironman,
and I was out on a bike ride, training for another, started to have chest pain.
This time the pain he couldn't ignore.
I had trouble turning my head, had pain down the arm, had pain in the chest, pain along my shoulder blade.
Yake had a 99% blockage in the main artery of his heart, the left anterior descending artery, which is nicknamed the Widowmaker. Doctors reopened the artery, then placed a stent to hold it open. And he recovered and went back to training. And then a few months later, the chest pain came back again, and it was back to the cath lab. In all, Yake has had to have 3 stents placed in his heart.
You do feel helpless, right? You're in your early 40s and you say, I've got heart disease for real now. I've got obviously the signs and symptoms of severe blockage. What do you do?
Yake decided the one thing he could do was to radically change the way he was eating, becoming a meat-free athlete.
People always ask me, well, how do you get your protein? There are a multitude of ways to get protein through a plant-based diet as opposed to eating animal protein.
Now he focuses on eating plant-based proteins that you'll find in things like beans and other vegetables. He stays away from meat and even soy protein and foods that are processed or high in salt. And Yake says eating better has him feeling better.
My blood pressure is excellent, my cholesterol is excellent, my weight's down 50 pounds. So all that combined probably is why I feel pretty good.
And between the medical management and the exercise and the eating, Yake believes he now is really doing everything he can in his power to protect his heart. And since he switched to a plant-based diet, he says he has not experienced that chest discomfort that he used to have after eating a heavy meal. He now knows that probably wasn't indigestion. That was probably a warning sign that something else was going on, Sine and Tom, with his heart. And now he knows a little bit better.
So for people who have a family history of heart disease,
yeah,
is a vegetarian diet usually recommended?
I mean, really getting away from a meat-based diet is recommended for people with, who are at higher risk of heart disease. So what he's doing is really kind of in conjunction, though, I should say, with your doctor. So if you have a strong family history, you really need to be talking and getting in for that yearly checkup, talking to your doctor about what you can do individually to lower your risk.
Be proactive.
Yeah, many doctors say everything in moderation. It's very individualized, I suppose.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Beth.